10 topics, 10 minutes, where we break down the biggest stories of the week in 60 seconds or less. Topic number 1, Bill Gates is getting a divorce. Bill and Melinda are splitting up, and it's about to be a hot boy summer for Bill Gates. The pandemic is ending. Summer's approaching. Bill Gates is worth $130 billion. Oh, and guess what? They didn't sign a prenup. No prenuptial agreement from Melinda Gates, so he's probably keeping all that money. Bill Gates has reportedly hired 3 law firms, not 3 lawyers, 3 law firms to fight for his money, so I don't think there's any lawyers really left for Melinda. There's only one thing left for Melinda to do, and that's fuck Jeff Bezos. There's no other option for her. There's only one guy. She can't take a step down. There's only one guy on his level, and that's Jeff Bezos. So go have your own scandalous little affair. Well, Bill Gates has hot boy summer. It's going to be him and Elon up in space banging these hoes. It's going to be Chet Hayes back here on Earth going to the cookout with some black queens for white boy summer. Bill Gates is going to be everywhere. You're going to see him on Bumble and Hinge, and he's going to be out there on Raya. Can you imagine Bill Gates on the dating app with these girls just hoping he drops a seed? Watch out for Bill Gates. Speaking of dating apps, topic number 2, we got Ben Affleck on Raya, where a girl found him and matched with him, then unmatched, thinking there's no way it could possibly be the real Ben Affleck. He went and found her on Instagram and sent her a video saying, "Why'd you unmatch with me? It's me."
Naveen, why did you unmatch me? It's me.
Which is just an all-time flex. He's not name-dropping. He's me-dropping. He didn't say, "I'm Ben Affleck." He just said, "I'm me." And to be honest, Ben Affleck, he pulls it off, man. Ordinarily, I would say, like, what are you doing on Raya? Raya is supposed to be the dating app for famous people. It's not the dating app for famous people. It's the dating app for people who think that they're famous. And I'm not just being bitter because they rejected me. I'm just saying that it's not actually really famous people, so fuck off. But Ben Affleck, he can do it all, man. He just finished up dating Ana de Armas, the Hollywood it girl, the mega smoke of the moment. And he's also like, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna hang out with this 10 out of 10 on a dating app too, because I can do it all. I'm Ben Affleck. I'm fucking Batman. I'm ripping cigs. I'm drinking Dunkin' Donuts. I'll fuck the A-list superstar, and I'll bang the girl from Raya. Whatever. Speaking of sending DMs on Instagram, topic number 3, T-Pain. T-Pain posted a video on TikTok of all of the unread DMs he's got on Instagram from major people, from full-blown celebrities, blue checks, singers, actors, entertainers, everybody who wanted to get a piece of T-Pain. He's just like your grandma or grandpa, doesn't know how to work the phone. I don't know where to find my messages. Not understanding that your DMs from people you don't follow land in a whole separate section. So over there on that 99 plus requests, he's got messages from the cream of the crop. We're talking Fergie and Viola Davis, major actors, singers, and entertainers who all wanted to collab with T-Pain, and he had no fucking idea they were even reaching out to him. He's just sitting there on his Twitch stream, playing Call of Duty, double tapping around on his timeline. No clue that the amount of money and opportunities just sitting in his DMs there, he has probably forgotten more money than most people out here in Hollywood are earning. T-Pain, check your DMs. Next up, another 60 seconds on the clock, we got Zuckerberg. Mark Zuckerberg came out and said that last year when the paparazzi caught the picture of him with the sunblock all over his face, that was an attempt to disguise himself. That was an attempt to try to blend in. Mark Zuckerberg, how fucking stupid can a smart guy be? How can someone who has the brains of Zuckerberg to build a $120 billion empire not understand how fucking stupid it is to think that slathering your face with sunblock is going to be a successful disguise? Like, it was the most, like, it drew the most attention possible to your face. When people put on disguises, you know what they do? They put on a hood. They put on some sunglasses. They cover up their face. They don't put a white face on that draws more attention to you than anything on the beach. Mark, this is the opposite of a disguise. It went super fucking mega viral because of how you looked. How can you be so goddamn stupid and ugly, Zuckerberg? Speaking of weird-ass photos with weird-ass white people, topic number 5. We got this shot of the Bidens going to visit Jimmy Carter and his wife in what has to be one of the strangest photos I've ever seen. I mean, it takes a lot for the Bidens to not be the old white people in any situation. In any photograph with them, 99.9% of the time, it's look how fucking old Joe Biden and Joe Biden are. But not when you step up with Jimmy Carter and his wife, who have to be like 200 years old, and just shrinking at an alarming rate. I mean, these guys, they look like they're hobbits hanging out with Gandalf. I mean, this looks like CGI or something. They look like absolute monsters. I feel like I'm witnessing a scene from Get Out, where like all the old white people are getting together and they're smiling like their thumbs up, like trying to pick out which body they're going to put their brain into next. Just a weird gathering of strange old white people. Shout out to the presidents, shout out to the ex-presidents, and whatever weird shit you guys do behind closed doors when you're shrinking. Weird white people and weird photos. Yikes. Speaking of white people shit, topic number 6. We got this Starbucks order gone viral. Edward ordered himself a venti mochaccino latte with 7 pumps of caramel and 8 pumps of banana, 2 sugars, 3 Splendas, some extra milk, some foam. Just the most obnoxious fucking Starbucks order you could imagine. The receipt, 10 feet long in what had to be like a $25 order. But here's the thing. Everyone's up in arms about it, yet everyone else is submitting their custom order, being like, look how much of an asshole I am. Look what kind of dickhead order I put in there. Everyone in the Starbucks world, universe, is an asshole. Right off the bat, you're drinking Frappuccino mocha lattes. They're all asshole drinks. And then you start customizing it. It's like, guess what? Anybody who walks through the door ordering any of these fucking things are jerk-offs. So I'm not surprised that Edward has the biggest dickhead order in the world, because that's what white people do in coffee shops, okay? You're not even drinking coffee anymore. You're drinking like foamy milk with sugar and caramel sprays. Just go to a normal place and drink black coffee like an adult. Also going viral this week, the tackiest proposal of all time, the Kansas City Chiefs fans proposing at the draft. This dude dropped down to one knee, pulled out a ring pop, quoted Deadpool, and proposed to his girlfriend at the NFL draft round 3, when nobody's even watching anymore. And I know everyone says this is tacky and that this is trashy and no, this is a girl's worst nightmare. Not in this situation, folks, okay? Not for this girl right here. These two are the football couple. And this girl probably couldn't be happier. This is the biggest moment of their life. They went up there together already, and now he doubled down and turned it into their most romantic moment. I mean, face it. In this world, you know whether you're I'm going to get proposed to at the NFL draft or I'm not. If you're not in that camp, this is an absolute disaster. But if you are in this camp, and you know if you are, this is one of the greatest moments ever. You couldn't even possibly come up with a proposal that would make you happier. So congrats to the happy couple. Stop hating. No love lost here between the guys in topic number 8. Another dirty hit from Tom Wilson on the Capitals. This time against Artemi Panarin on the Rangers. This is just what Tom Wilson does. Sometimes it's dirty, sometimes it's just aggressive, but the dude just lays out big fucking hits. The game has changed. There's not many enforcers or goons left anymore. Everybody else is finesse. Nobody else is as big and strong as him, and Tom Wilson just goes out there and wrecks motherfuckers. And every time it's a big debate. You got people saying he should be suspended. You got people saying he should be kicked out of the league. This time around, we had people saying he should be arrested for assault. Then you got the hockey purists who think that you should be able to kill anybody on the ice within the confines of the game, and everything Tom Wilson does is fair play. Like anything else, it's somewhere in the middle, He's throwing cheap shots, but then Panarin jumps on his back, so you get fucking tossed off. If you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. You're playing with the Thanos of hockey, the biggest, baddest motherfucker in the game. Don't poke the bear if you don't want to get fucking wrecked by the bear. Another big story in the world of sports this week, LeBron James complaining about the play-in tournament for the NBA playoffs. So let's rewind. Last year, LeBron's on the Lakers. They're cruising to another championship. He's in the bubble hanging out, and he's watching the 8 seed, the 7 seed, the 9 seed, everybody fight over those final playoff positions. He says, you know what? Why don't we have these guys all play each other? 5 games each, and the winner gets in. Well, fast forward to today, and guess where the Lakers are? They're on the bubble. They're a 7 seed. And everyone's saying, hey, how about that play-in tournament? Well, now LeBron James says whoever came up with that shit should be fired. Oh, it's funny how that story changes, huh? It's funny when you're the 1 seed and you want to watch the little commoners scrap for their final spot. But when you're one of those bums in the 7 seed spot, you don't want to have to play any extra games. You played an entire regular season. You earned the 7 seed or the 8 seed. You're in the playoffs. You shouldn't have the 9 or the 10 seed get a chance to scoot their way in just because of a fun little play-in tournament. But fuck LeBron and his hypocritical bullshit. You can't be for it when you're a 1 seed and against it when you're a 7 seed. We'll wrap up with another hypocritical athlete here, Caitlyn Jenner, topic number 10. She's running for governor of California and recently spoke out on the rights of transgender athletes, saying that she doesn't think it's fair for a man to transition to a female and then continue to play in the regular female athletics, which I know feels crazy hypocritical. And I know we're laughing about it, cracking our jokes. It's pot, meat, kettle, it's throwing stones in glass houses. But really, when you think about it, who better to speak on this issue than Caitlyn Jenner? Back in the 80s, when she was still a man, she was killing it, winning gold. Now she's transitioned to female. She would know better than anyone how she would smoke some of these cisgender girls. I mean, imagine if Bruce Jenner was playing against the females back in his heyday. I mean, he would be annihilating these girls. So Caitlyn Jenner comes out and she says, I just don't think it's fair. And at the end of the day, that's the most important thing in sports, is having a fair, even playing ground. I know it's an awkward situation. Do they play with the men? Do they play with the women? I don't know the answer either. But I do know that shit's unfair to the cisgendered girls.